When a single mother stepped into the courtroom seeking justice, the judge mocked her parenting and belittled her education. But by the time she finished presenting her case, the entire courtroom was stunned, including the judge himself. What she revealed? It flipped the trial and his opinion on its head. Danielle Evans stood nervously at the plaintiff's table in courtroom 2B, holding a stack of neatly organized papers. A single mother of two, she wore a simple navy blouse and thrifted black slacks. Her hair was tied back in a bun. The man sitting across from her in a tailored suit and smug grin was her former landlord, Richard Kessler. Danielle had taken him to small claims court over a $2,500 security deposit he had refused to return, citing damages she claimed never existed. What began as a standard civil hearing quickly turned into something much uglier. As Judge Franklin entered, he gave a cursory glance at the case file. "Ms. Evans," he said with a sigh, "representing yourself today?" "Yes, Your Honor," she said, her voice steady but quiet. The judge glanced at Kessler's lawyer, a well-known local attorney. "And the defendant has retained counsel." "Of course he has." Danielle frowned. Judge Franklin continued. "Let me guess. No legal training? You work full-time? Probably raising children on your own?" Danielle nodded cautiously. "Yes, sir. I'm a full-time employee and a mother." He chuckled, not kindly. "This should be interesting. Let's hope motherhood taught you enough about evidence." There were quiet murmurs in the courtroom. Danielle's cheeks flushed, but she didn't speak. Instead, she opened her binder and began. "Your Honor, I'd like to begin with the original lease, which I have here. It clearly states that any damage deductions must be itemized and documented." She handed copies to the clerk. "For the record," she continued, "Mr. Kessler never sent me an itemized list. I have emails requesting it. In his reply, not necessary. You left the place a mess. I also have dated photographs from my move-out day, each room spotless." Kessler's lawyer objected. "Your Honor, laypersons can't validate photographic evidence." "Actually," Danielle interrupted, "these are time-stamped and stored in a chain of custody system used by insurance companies. I work in claims resolution for a property insurance firm. I use this system daily." The courtroom fell silent. Judge Franklin leaned forward. "You work in insurance?" "Yes, sir. For the last 8 years." Kessler shifted uncomfortably in his chair. Danielle continued. "I also obtained a copy of the maintenance log from the building's contractor. There were no reported damages between my move-out date and the next tenant's move-in, which was only 2 days later. That tenant, Ms. Alvarez, is here today with a sworn statement confirming the apartment was in excellent condition." Judge Franklin raised an eyebrow, flipping through the documents. Danielle wasn't done. "Lastly, I'd like to present proof that Mr. Kessler withheld deposits from at least 4 other single mothers in the last 18 months. I obtained public court records. 3 of those cases resulted in judgments against him." Kessler's lawyer stammered, "Your Honor, this is character evidence." But the judge held up a hand. "I'll allow it." Then he turned to Danielle. His tone softened. "Ms. Evans, your presentation is impressive. I apologize for my earlier remarks. Clearly, you've done your homework." She gave a humble nod. "Thank you, Your Honor." After a brief recess, Judge Franklin returned with his decision. "In light of the overwhelming evidence, I rule in favor of the plaintiff for the full amount of $2,500 plus $300 in court costs. Mr. Kessler, consider this a warning and clean up your practices." As the gavel hit, the courtroom erupted in soft applause. Even the bailiff gave Danielle a nod of respect. Outside, reporters asked for interviews. Danielle declined, simply saying, "I didn't do this for fame. I did it for every working mom who's ever been told she's not enough." Danielle Evans walked into court expecting a fight and walked out a victor. Not because of fancy degrees or legal jargon, but because she believed in her right to be heard. And when that moment came, she spoke with truth, poise, and undeniable proof. If this story inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and never underestimate the power of preparation. And a mother on a mission